Hello everyone, welcome to iExamB. Today in our series of tips from toppers, we have Santana Panda, who has cracked SEBI 2018 with All India Rank 2. Santana, we welcome you to iExamB and thanks for sparing your time.
Shantana, many congratulations from our side.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for inviting me to this platform. I would love to share my experience with future aspirants.
Thank you, Santana. Before I ask Santana her strategy, let me tell you about Santana. She has done electrical engineering BE and she has also completed MBA from iExamB Bhubaneswar. She was working with Coca-Cola, but she quit her job, started preparing for competitive exam. She was preparing for UPSC and also for RBI SEBI NABARD. She has reached to interview level in RBI Grade B exam. Before we come to questions to her, let me show you the score sheet Shantana has. So here you can see her score. She has excellent score overall. In general awareness you can see 33 marks. In English language 31.25 and in quantitative aptitude 30.25. Reasoning 32.5 and 29 in securities market. Overall 156 marks out of 200 total, where the cutoff was 119 and 0.25. So high, very high score against the cutoff in phase 1, though it was not counted for the final selection. See in phase 2, out of the 100 in securities market 75.5 and in English 79. Such a high score in the English descriptive and 70.5 in the ESI and FM paper. So here also she got overall 225, and if you do this converted to 85% weightage, here you can see, so this becomes 63.75 marks, and in interview out of 15 she got 13. So total 76.75 marks, excellent score and very well balanced score. Overall she has got a rank 2 All India, which is the biggest achievement, because with this preparation you have reached to this level. Santana, now we want to hear from you how you could do this, and so that other people can also replicate this kind of success.
Thank you, sir. Before sharing my strategy, I would like to say that I will point out a few sources from where I have studied. While the sources may seem numerous, but there were specific topics that I have studied from them and I have revised them continuously. That in fact has helped me throughout the exam. In phase 1, the first part was general awareness, where I scored 33 out of 40. The reason behind that was I followed 3 sources religiously. One was Bankers Adda Hindu, monthly Hindu PDFs were available. That is an extremely important source of general awareness. And then I used to follow Study IQ daily videos. I complemented it with banking current affairs because there were parts in phase 2 like social sector and economy in the ESI part. If it is possible, you can always go for daily quizzes. It helps you memorize those things.
Okay.
You can also form groups and keep asking yourself, like I had a study group of around 3 to 4 people who continuously we asked each other questions, and that way we used to memorize those answers.
So actually I am taking a question in between because you have a study group. So what is the success of other members in the group? Others are also equally good?
Yeah. So one of them also used to follow iExamB, and he has cleared with 17 rank.
Oh wow!
And his name is Divyajit Singh. And another of my friend, he could not clear phase 2 because he missed out by around 8 to 9 marks.
This is actually one of the very important strategy you are sharing here, because normally people, I have realized, they see a narrow competition. So we can do a lot by collaboration. So rather than seeing a competition in the neighborhood or in the class, so if we collaborate, we study together, we all will get success.
Yeah, and it is necessary because when you are studying for 10 to 11 hours, you need someone to constantly push you, and you cannot always push yourself.
Yeah.
So maybe your other friend can push you, and that goes on in a circle. It helps in group. Secondly, we come to the securities market awareness part. So for that, I came upon a PDF that was Capital Market and Securities Law. It is a PDF by ICSI Institute, and it is a very lengthy PDF, around 600 700 pages in number. But what we did was, because I had studied in MBA my finance course, securities markets and related stuff, but I needed a primer again. So we read through that source very thoroughly, and wherever we found, and the plan was that we had to highlight important things that we will read later, and that has to go on a continued basis.
Okay.
We used to highlight, and we used to complement with bubble answers wherever we could not understand a concept. We used to search extensively and add the answer there. So it was a one-time long task, but once it was done, every time we revised, we had the answers ready and we knew where to study from. So that helps a lot during preparation. Next thing that we followed was iExamB study material. So the PDFs that iExamB gave were actually a concise version of that PDF, and that helped a lot in the end, because in the end we could not read a 700-page PDF, but we could easily revise a 6 to 7 page PDF on select topics that were being asked in SEM. So
Yes,
that was one.
I would add here, Santana, because last year was the first time that we launched the course.
Yes.
Our PDFs are also very limited, and otherwise also we want to keep it very crisp. But still, like
Yeah.
you and many other candidates said to us that it was very much enough for the exam. So would
So
you like to
PDF
tell about the coverage, because security market, when it comes to the SEBI exam, so students really get worried about how they are going to cover the huge syllabus. And especially securities market is a new subject for many students, though you have studied that during your MBA, but many of the students are not coming from any finance background. So can you tell me about the overall coverage, like though the syllabus looks huge, how it can be covered in the reasonable amount of time?
the SEBI syllabus is quite concise. So you have to follow the syllabus religiously. There are topics which you have to search. Either you can search it on Google and get the information, or you can, iExamB helped because it provided information, PDFs on those topics itself, like public offer. They had a concise PDF on that. Similarly, on other topics like derivatives, then regulated intermediaries, collective investment schemes, there were PDFs on every particular topic on the syllabus, and they had enough coverage that would be asked in the exam. So in that way, it helped a lot.
Okay.
So that was one, and next was the videos that we read from iExamB. So the phase 1 videos, securities market, capital market related, they were more than enough for phase 1 securities market coverage. The only thing that we missed out, which were asked in the exam, were specific sections were asked on important laws, and that was something which we had not
Covered.
guessed that they would ask such deep questions, which we in fact changed the strategy during phase 2. That is when we started remembering the sections and important laws. So the dates on when the important laws came into force, they were asked in the exam, and that is something that we learned from the phase 1
Phase one,
exam.
yeah, correct. Now I am able to recall it. So Prachi ma'am was saying this. So we were not expecting that it will go so deep. When the phase 1 we found some questions like that, it was covered in the phase 2. Because this is also very difficult for many of the people, those who are coming from completely non-financial background, going so much into the law side of the securities market. But because it is asked in the exam, so that is required to be covered.
So then there were 300 questions videos available on YouTube for everybody. It was offered by iExamB, and I used to follow that also on a daily basis. Whenever it was uploaded, I used to watch and I used to make notes of that. The other thing that helped us a lot was the mock test, because phase 1 is a lot about speed and accuracy, and you have to maintain minimum cutoff in each section. So mock tests had to be practiced almost on a alternate day basis, and we did that. I followed practice mock, and I also gave all the mocks in iExamB. just 2-3 days before the phase 1 exam, iExamB came up with a 400 questions PDF. That is the PDF that I referred to on the last day before phase 1, because 5 days before phase 1, I realized that I have to stop giving mock tests now and focus solely on revision, because revision was more important. In those 5 days, if I give a mock and I get a lower mark, it may demoralize me. Rather, I would spend the time and revise whatever I have learned. It will rather help me in the end. So I did that, and ultimately the last day was completely devoted to 400 questions we covered. And even though a lot of questions may not have been asked, but it gave us a confidence going into the exam that we have covered a wide source of information, and that was something that helped a lot, because I went with a positive frame of mind to the exam. So that was with regard to SEBI phase 1. With phase 2, again, with securities market being one complete part of the exam, so again we went into that capital market and securities law PDF. The good thing was that we had already highlighted and marked whatever was important, and whatever we could not understand initially, we had already had answers to all those questions, and that were covered, completely covered. We just had to read it once again. iExamB PDFs, again, that was a time when we had revised it 3, 4, 5 times, and even again in the last day before the exam, we did it once again to ensure that nothing is left out. It was so comprehensive in detail, actually. So that helped a lot. And also I covered SEBI FAQs from the website itself. So FAQs were really short, and they had crisp questions with important answers in them. That also helped wherever topics, out of way topics were there, like alternative investment funds, where you do not find a lot of information otherwise, but if you need a general idea about it and few important facts, SEBI FAQs were the place to go. Delisting also. A lot of things came from the SEBI FAQs. In the SEBI phase 2 securities market part, the main thing that I focused was take up the topic in the syllabus and focus on the meaning of that. Then whatever important facts and role of SEBI with regard to that particular topic, I used to search on that and make a note on that. You can keep it in an online note, or you can make a hard copy note. That is not important, but you need to have at least a well-rounded information on every particular topic in the syllabus.
If I ask you some example here, because in the syllabus, so there is like you have to study forex market, you have to study commodities market, you have to understand capital market, bond market. Like there are very general topics in the syllabus.
Yes, sir.
How, like, what approach you followed here? If you start reading about, say, commodity market or forex market, so there is no end to it. How do you stop somewhere that is good enough for the exam?
So that is somewhere where actually my iExamB videos, they had topics on bond market, capital market, money market. Those were comprehensive in that coverage for the exam. Regarding forex and commodities market, I believe I went through basic information on net itself. Like I googled topics on that. I went through certain websites of commodity market exchanges to see whether there is some information. Mostly in the About Us page, you get some general information on commodities market, where how do they perform, who are the participants, how long have they been operating, and what are the laws applicable. So you can get that kind of information from them, which I did for that. In that way, securities market was covered. We went through all the topics that was mentioned in the syllabus, and we directed it from the capital markets PDF and also from iExamB PDF. SEBI FAQs helped in whatever way, whatever items were not there in either of these things. So that was one. Second part is the English part. This is something which comes personally, because in RBI I had neglected the English part, and I got.
In English descriptive, you have scored 79, correct? 79 marks?
Yes, sir. 79
marks.
Highest
score in the phase 2. So as you yourself has said that many people neglect that, right?
Yes.
So it is 1/3 of the exam. So please elaborate.
Because it is from personal experience also. My RBI phase 2 marks in English was 64. So I realized I could improve a lot. This was in hindsight because the results came later. But I knew that I had not done as well as I could. And there are very few things that you need to master in English exam. But if you do that, you can score immensely. So firstly, there are 3 questions. So there is reading comprehension, there is Pressy, and there is essay. First, going with the essay, it's a 200 marks, 200 word essay. So they are not going by the content of it. Everybody can write a 200 word essay. But the important thing is that you need to have proper grammar. Spellings have to be correct. Punctuation marks have to be correctly placed, and it has to be within the word limit. That is very important. And they asked general questions. What I felt was I could write essay in 3 topics out of the 5 mentioned, but I went with the one which was the strongest in my opinion. So there is generally topics on social issues. There is a topic on economy. There is a topic of environment, and these kind of topics only came in the exam. So it was nothing that was new. You could always write an essay, but you need to stick to these following points. Next, coming to Pressy, this is important because there are few rules of Pressy's writing that you need to follow during this Pressy writing in the exam. So like it has to be concise. You cannot pick words from the paragraph itself, and it needs to have the gist in an orderly manner. So you can follow any YouTube video. There are a lot of videos available on good Pressy writing, and you can follow any of them to gain an understanding on what is needed from you. The only thing that you can do, which I did, was I went to any financial daily, I went to a opinion or editorial, and I just made it concise. If it was 500 words, I made it 150 words, and I practiced that 3-4 times before the exam, and that was more than enough. Because you need to practice writing concise but yet to the point Pressy writing. RC also, again, the point in English is that you have to have correct grammar and spelling, and the punctuation marks have to be placed correctly. Word limit has to be, there was good time available even though it is a 60-minute paper, but because there was only 1 paragraph on which you had to write the Pressy as well as solve the reading comprehension, so it saved time for you there. So in RBI you get 2 separate paragraphs, one on which you write the Pressy and one on which you do the RC. But this was something that saved time and it helped you in the exam.
I am just interrupting more about the phase 2 English writing. So
Yes.
for this we are also providing in our course. So because you have subscribed to the course, so there is a mock package for phase 2 English writing also. So I am not sure whether you have attempted that and how was the guidance given, because we give the comment about the essay or Pressy you write there.
I did not do for SEBI specifically because I did not have time actually, because UPSC exam was there. But the thing that I did during RBI was that I attempted a few English, at least 2 papers I attempted on English.
Okay.
I did not write it through the test in the platform provided, but I practiced it on my own.
Okay.
So in totality, I might have practiced around 3-4 question papers, which I made myself itself. So I just took financial dailies, made some questions out of it, and practiced out of it.
Correct.
Essay writing also similar.
Yeah, it is more about the writing skill. So you have rightly said it. So it's not more about the knowledge on the topic.
Yes, sir. And generally, 200 words you can find enough material to write in the essay. So not a problem. Then comes the next part of it, that is ESI and FM part. So in this, I feel that management is a game changer because it's easy to read, and there is not a lot of things to be covered, and a lot of questions are asked. So for example, in phase 2, limited number of questions were asked from finance, but a lot of questions were asked from management, and that helps you in the exam if you are strong in management. Yeah, I was a management graduate, but I had to reread it again in order to ensure that I do the questions correctly. So the things that I followed was, one was the videos that iExam provided. They were again concise and gave a lot of information in a very small time. It was 10-minute, 15-minute videos which give you a lot of information on management videos. And next was, I followed SP Robbins' 2 books, one on management and one on organizational behavior. Again, they are vast books, but you have to just cover the topics like leadership, motivation, HRD, selected topics, and they are very easy to read and understand. Most of the book is filled with examples, so you can cover it in very less time. The main thing is to understand the gist of it and then attempt as many mocks so that you are strong in management. You can answer any question on that.
Yeah, one thing I would also like to add here about the management. So when we read it looks actually very simple. It looks very obvious. But when we have the options, so it becomes confusing. So reading books and understanding the concepts, that is very helpful then.
Yeah, that is true. Because the options are often very confusing and very nearby.
Yes.
So confusing. Next was with regard to ESI. I had some background from UPSC preparation, so I used to follow Vision IS and Insights IS monthly PDFs. In that, they mention very concise ideas on social issues and economic issues. There are 2 PDFs, one on social issues and one on economic. Both of them contain very relevant data on schemes and recent developments in the economy and social sector. Considering the items covered like unemployment, poverty, all those topics are well covered in those PDFs. You can follow them for getting information. Enough information is available. Now again, I felt that the course was very huge for ESI. So in order to do that, I realized that more emphasis had to be placed on current affairs of ESI. So I went through various ministry websites, important schemes. So the websites that I covered was from Ministry of HRD, Social Development, Social Justice and Empowerment, then Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Rural Development. All these contain important schemes and important information that are relevant to the exam. Same topics are almost covered. So unemployment, poverty related, student related schemes are asked. So those are mostly covered there. Again, iExam videos gave a good primer. They had a lot of information on old schemes and how the economy of India has progressed, how liberalization and different policy planning has taken place. So all that is covered briefly there, and you can get new current information from these websites. Yeah, so that was what I did. Current affairs on latest schemes are also available in this Hindu PDFs of Bankers Atta and banking current affairs. So all these gave a rounded preparation for ESI. Regarding finance part, again I'm speaking from my preparation from RBI. So I had a basic prepared that I used to follow M.Y. Khan financial management, but you can anybody can follow any basic finance book. You just need to cover the topics like financial ratios, budget, inflation. These were the topics that were important for SEBI grade A exam. So those topics I used to cover from the internet. Topics on economy that I could not follow, I followed Mrinal sir's videos for UPSC. So they gave you a very good idea, basic idea, and then current affairs can be built from the newspaper itself.
Right. So I am taking slightly back to the time division between the phase 1 and phase 2 preparation, because maybe I do not know how you have balanced such a nice score, quant, reasoning, English, all the current affairs and learners part. So all the part of the phase 1 exam, because for many of the bright students, Claim management exam becomes difficult because they have been very knowledgeable, but they do not know how to manage the time, because you have more questions in phase 1 exam and you have limited time. So I
Yes, sir.
200 questions and you have only 2 hours. 120
Yes, sir.
minutes for 200 questions. So what was your strategy, both your preparation strategy, like how did you prepare for these topics like quant, reasoning, English, general awareness and security you have already covered, and during the exam, how you picked, like what was the strategy to manage time in the exam? So two questions in one question. One is the overall preparation time you have given to phase 1 and phase 2, and
Yes.
during the exam, how did you manage in the phase 1?
The time that I put in to study for the exam was around 10 to 11 hours a day. And because there were three of us there, we ensured that we did put in that kind of hours daily. So, so a part of the day was spent on mock test and analysis of the mock test. To ensure that we do not repeat similar kind of mistakes. Quant's logical reasoning, we followed a lot of videos on YouTube on Bankers Adda. Adda 247 gives a lot of videos. Even I followed a couple of things from Olive Board previously for RPA. But overall, I knew the topics that were being asked, and I ensured that my strong subjects I worked on them, and weak subjects I worked enough to ensure that I can easily attempt questions on that. So that was English. I practiced a lot. So as I said, I have given MBA. So during CAT exam, I had practiced a lot of questions on English. So basic English idea was there, and there are a lot of platforms from where you can, there are apps and websites from where you can access these questions. So I used to, English mainly I used to do only by daily quizzes. Adda 247 has an app and it gives daily questions. So that was something that I did from there. YouTube videos helped a lot with all. With regard to the exam per se, so I knew that the general knowledge and securities market questions can be covered quickly. So my idea was that I need to cover that in 15 to 20 minutes. And because English was strong for me, I kept 20 to 25 minutes for that. 20 minutes was what I targeted, and I did in that time. Quants and logical reasoning, I did not know what kind of questions would be asked, whether they would be difficult or easy. So I ensured that I keep 40 minutes. So an overall of 120 minutes, 20 minutes for current affairs, 20 minutes for English, and 40 for logical reasoning and quants. I picked those questions initially when I went through those questions which I was very sure of. If there was questions in logical reasoning, say on input output, which is one of my weaker areas, so I will skip that question, and if I get time, I will come back to it. So I knew that time was of the essence. So if I go by it that I have to solve every question in this paper, I cannot solve the paper.
Right.
So, and I want clear. So I realized that I have to pick those questions, like the ones syllogisms and all are my strong area. I finished them as soon as possible, and I came back again. In fact, I did my I did it 2 times. I finished the paper in 1 hour 15 minutes, and then I came back. The 1 hour 15 minutes that I used was solely for questions that I knew very well. Rest I did. Overall, that was a break. For phase 2, there is enough time, but the more thing is that you need knowledge about that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think about phase 2 also you can again add if something is remaining there. And one very important part is the interview. Though it is 15 marks, but it is actually 50% overall weightage. And your excellent score 13 marks in the interview. You have actually faced the exam throughout.
Yes. The reason being that I wanted to maximize my score in the interview, because I was not sure how much marks I will obtain in phase 2. So even though I was reasonably confident on my score, but I did not know how much I had scored. So I realized that interview had to be aced. There was no way out of it. So the way that I prepared was that I prepared one line answers for every security market concepts. So if somebody like the interviewer asked me 3 questions on buyback, takeover, and open offer, they wanted to know the basic concept of that, each of the topics. So I knew that for that kind of question, I need to have a one line prepared, which gives the entire idea of say takeover is this, and then they are able to gauge from that that I have understood the topic well. Any kind of cross questioning they might ask later will be okay because I have read the subject as it is. So one liner answers I had written on all the securities concepts that were there in phase 2 and that were relevant in the recent scenario, like from current affairs, whatever I picked up. Then if you have work experience, they did ask me questions on based on work experience with regard to what kind of work I did, what kind of strategies I used there, and how does it link with my role in SEBI. So what qualities in my work will help me in a role in SEBI, they asked. So that was the kind of questions that were asked. Normal HR-based questions like tell me about yourself and about family were also asked. The interview panel was very cordial, so it went smoothly. The one thing that I felt made a big difference in the interview was that what I did was I was not aware a lot about security market current affairs. So for past 2 months, like January to March, I just typed in Google SEBI news, and there is a link that comes up of money control or live mint, whatever. You just need to go through all the things wherein SEBI has come up in the recent news. So while they did not ask me current affairs questions directly, but whenever I answered, say for example, there was an open offer question and I answered by giving an example that recently Wipro is taking up an open offer situation, and they asked me further because I stated that and I was prepared for that and I answered. And that I, from their body language, I could guess that okay, they are appreciating the effort that I have put in to attach a current example in a static answer. And that was something that I felt that they could appreciate that at that moment, and they were happy with that, my answers in that.
So this is very, very important in any interview, actually, how you take the interview, because you being speaking say 70-80% time in the interview, so you can take the direction the way you would like, right? If you are knowledgeable, you will go deep in the answer. The deeper you go in the answer, the stronger question or maybe a tougher question they ask to you. So sometimes you will not be able to answer, but they appreciate because they always compare you with the others. So they appreciate this, that you are well aware of the things and accordingly you are being awarded in the marks.
Yeah. So that was really helpful, and also the preparing the short answers was very important because the interview itself was 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah. I went first in my group, so they had a 25-30 minute interview for me, but for the rest of them mostly it was 15-20 minutes, and the panel were also asking us to give us short answers, brief answers. So that was important. Secondly, I had a mock interview with ISABI which you took, and that helped me a lot because you were the one who pointed out that I was giving lengthy answers and I need to cut it short. So after I did the mock interview, I went through all my answers again and I cut it short. And then also while asking questions, you had asked me a question wherein you had asked 4 questions in series and I had answered 2 and I forgot to. So I worked on that, and that helped me in the final interview because even though they did not ask me that many questions, but I took my time, I understood the question that they were asking me and then I answered. So it helped because I gave clearly thought out answers to them.
Correct. My idea is that you maintain your composure. So even if you may be feeling stress in the interview room, but we have to maintain our composure and we have to develop the listening skills.
Yes,
so
sir.
That they understand very, very well. Okay. So this is very nice thoughts from your side. So can you share something which is like your secret sauce? Because now you have cleared the exam, so you are out of the competition. Any secret sauce you want to share with the students?
There is no secret actually. The only thing I feel that you need to be consistent in your work, and you need to respect the exam, the syllabus, and how you need to study, and accordingly prepare. It is not very tough if you go through all these stages properly, giving enough time to all the stages. And if you do that, there is nothing that will stop you from gaining success in the end.
So you must be feeling glad because you took a risk also, I would say, because you are working with
Yes.
one of the best company globally, Coca-Cola, right? So you have been definitely motivated to work for the public. So finally you are there, you are joining the Capital Market Regulator, Securities Market Regulator, SEBI, which is a very prestigious job, and the importance of SEBI is also increasing as the role of capital market and securities market is increasing in our economy. So this is really an excellent opportunity, and we wish that you will really go very high in your career, and
Thank
we
you.
will hear more about you in newspaper someday. So we are
Thank
really
you so
happy
much.
to know this success of you. So anything more you want to share, feel free, please.
I think I've given as much as I could about the preparation strategy. That
Thanks a lot, Santona. Thanks for your time. I appreciate, and congratulations once again. Best wishes for your career.
thank you so much.